and we sell a service. You only really need to market to people within a certain radius. So our marketing goal is much different than a company that sells, t-shirts. You can ship those products to anywhere in the country.
Anywhere in the country.
Market anywhere, as long as there's eyeballs on it, that's a good thing.
Welcome to the Royal Flush Podcast. My name is John Overy, the VP of Sales here at Royal Flush. In this podcast, we cover the ever-growing ins and outs of our state-of-the-art pipelining company. And specific to this episode, we talk about our marketing strategy here in 2023 and moving forward to 2024. We cover a couple core areas that we focus on, specifically our SEO, our social media presence, and our in-field sales. Take a listen. If you have any sort of business, you're interested in any marketing, this is how we do it here at our small family-owned business. I think you'll enjoy it.
Welcome into the Royal Flush Podcast. I'm Kyle McShane here with John Overy. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about marketing. And John, I feel like you have a specific idea in mind of what marketing means to you. So tell me marketing from your perspective.
Okay. So if I had to, which I'm sure is not the true definition of it, if we looked it up in the Webster's dictionary, but what marketing means to me and the philosophy and goal behind everything we do here at Royal Flush is how can we get as many people as possible to know about what we do and to thus simply enough know how to contact us if and when they're interested, right? And so I think if you talk to anybody on the streets, that would kind of make sense. But for us, we provide a service, right? We're not technically selling a product. So if my amazing wife was here, she is the chief marketing officer of our company.
Yep.
So you would think I knew a lot more about marketing than I do, but I don't. But she's in the marketing of items, goods, things that are sold in a retail environment. I think those are what I would consider to be the traditional forms of marketing, where you're creating a brand and usually telling a story, usually items based around some sort of price point, shelving, displays, kind of those traditional marketing things. For us, it's certainly the same but different, but we are really trying to definitely create a brand. That word I think is very, very powerful.
Definitely.
We've talked about the Mercedes and Starbucks effect and stuff before, right? But it's more like how can we just get people to know about what it is that we are and what that we do, right? So you think of like just things that you buy or get on a daily basis that have like this brand name and awareness to them that you don't even like think about. So when somebody says soda, what do you think?
When I hear soda, I think probably Coca-Cola, more than likely.
Yep.
I think that's the more iconic brand. You mentioned that. I thought Apple.
Yep.
Like even as far as, phones go.
Yeah, if somebody
devices,
says, literally if I just say, Kyle, a phone in 2023, what brand? There's only one brand.
Yeah, you're obviously going iPhone, just a little apple with the bite in the side of it. And it's weird. It's almost like we're brainwashed as far as that brand is considered because not once have I owned, like an Android or a
Me neither.
Samsung type of phone. There's something about the Apple brand, and they've branded themselves so well that it's like, that is the phone.
Yep.
That is the phone. There's other products like, let's say Nike. Nike's a very big brand that comes to mind when I think of products.
Let's go on a little Apple tangent right now, okay?
Let's do it.
What I think, besides them being on the cutting edge of technology, what I think the number one thing that they've made their phones is the ability to be user-friendly and to be integrated with everything. And then from there, the pain it would be to unintegrate everything, people will never do it.
Okay.
So, how many different iPhones or how long have you had an iPhone for?
I've had an iPhone since probably 2012, 2013-ish.
Okay. So the simple of how many photos you think you've taken on that phone?
Hundreds, thousands.
Thousands. Those photos are all on the cloud.
Yeah.
Okay. They're on the iCloud, not the Samsung cloud. So you can go ahead and switch your phone. You're never going to get those back. You're never getting them back.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they get you hooked on this device that is the most user-friendly, simplest thing in the world. and then you get the watch, and you get the AirPods, and you get the iPad, and you get the MacBook.
It's the add-on sales.
And they're all tied in together
Yep.
under this one big umbrella, okay? And then for you to get a new device that's not going to talk with those, you're not going to do it. And then if you're thinking about switching, I'm like, well, I need access to all those things. So they basically, they get their claws in you, and they make it so easy to use. I think that's the biggest thing that Apple has success on. Not that they revolutionized the device in your pocket. It is so goddamn easy to use. And people take it for granted.
No, definitely. I think it's so easy to be taken for granted because it's become the standard for so
Yep,
long.
it's the norm.
It's the potent of technology, basically, at this point. Where,
They invented apps did not exist.
Yeah.
The word app was not in the English dictionary until the iPhone came. And they were like, no, you don't have to click through 14. If you remember Microsoft, like you click like the button and you get the drop-down menu. You click the drop-down menu, you click something else, and you get something else, and that's how you get to something. Now they just created icon apps that you just click on what you need when you want it, and it's like the simplest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So like, obviously that is the pinnacle of brand.
Definitely.
And, I'm sure their marketing team is geniuses, but like at this point, it's pretty easy to market an Apple device,
Oh, yeah, it does it for itself.
right?
It's
cutting edge, it's sleek, it's modern. They're tweaking things perpetually, and it's like if you use it, if you're in the grass, you want one.
yeah. It's those little add-on sales. John, the USB-C chargers that they have now with the new ones,
How much money do you think they're making on chargers?
they're making billions off of chargers just by switching the port. And they can do it.
And everybody's gonna buy it.
And they can do it.
Yep.
Because who's going to switch away from an iPhone?
Yep.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Apple's done such a good job as far as branding, and I think it's almost an exclusivity thing where, this watch right here, it's not going to connect with an Android.
Nope.
My AirPods aren't going to connect with an Android. Like even the laptop I have out there, I could never go back to not using a Mac.
Yep.
It's like an exclusivity thing that if you veer away from this, your life changes drastically.
It's gonna get harder.
It's insane. It's unreal.
All right, let's take it back to Royal Flush. So my overview definition of marketing is how can we get people to know about what we do? Okay, and then so it's, all right, that's where the brand and the storytelling, and I'll call it these outreach, that's where it comes into play. And Kyle, do you know who and what is our biggest marketing investment and marketing tool we have available to us right now?
Like here at Royal Flush?
Yeah, what do you think is our biggest marketing tool?
I would assume social media.
It's you.
Well, okay, all right. So I did. Yeah, I figured that was a little plug right there, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I would consider myself
Yes.
you and me the marketing
Yep,
department.
you are our biggest marketing investment. So one of our marketing pillars is social media.
Yep.
Right? And so we all know the platforms everybody's on, including this one right here.
Yep.
And so we made the investment in you over a year ago, and we said, hey, we know that the majority of way that the consumer is gathering their information is through social media. This is YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I do a little bit with my personal LinkedIn, and obviously now podcasts. We know that these are like kind of 4 or 5 core things that, shit, I mean, how much time you spend a day on those? Obviously you're working, so it's a little different, but like, I mean, I don't have the numbers. I would say the average person spends an hour or 2 on social media, minimum a day.
Bare
minimum.
And it's like one of the, even TikTok, you're just mindlessly scrolling.
Oh, TikTok is just like crack.
And not necessarily, with any allegiance to a brand, but you're just scrolling.
You're
It's
still
where the attention is.
subliminally gathering information, Kyle.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
You're a consumer, and you're gathering information on TikTok.
Definitely.
And so we said, hey, this is the least barrier of entry. Find a skilled person like you and try and flood with the best of our ability. And guess what? We still have no idea what the hell we're doing. We're just figuring it out. Flood these platforms with information and hopefully cool videos and stupid things and educational things and stuff about our tools and our jobs, and try to let people know that way, right? So that's definitely I think, the coolest way. That's number one, is our social media presence. Number 2 is our investment in our SEO that we did this year, which is search engine optimization, for anybody who doesn't know. But basically, simply put, most people, if they are on social media. They might not have an intent to gather information, but they are anyway. So like, oh, I've seen these guys. I've seen the trucks around. Cool. When you have an issue and you're looking for something, anything you do, you're drunk at nighttime, you want a slice of pizza. How are you going about getting the slice of pizza?
I'm going to my iPhone, and I'm just typing in the search bar.
And you're going to Google.
Pizza places near me.
Pizza near me.
Yep.
Right? No, you might type in like greasy pizza near me.
Yeah.
You might
Cheap
type
pizza.
in cheap pizza.
Yep.
You might type best pizza in Newport.
Yep.
Whatever it is, right? That's what you're doing. And that's what every single one of us as human beings are doing all day, every day. Something near me. Going a little tangent here. I think I told you about this. I saw it on TikTok. A guy had a phenomenal idea for a franchise brand business, and it was going to be called Near Me. Mm-hmm. And you could take any business, any service. We'll take a pizza place. We'll take a laundromat. We'll take a flower shop. And the name of the store would be Flower Shop Near Me.
Yep.
And everything would fall under the Near Me brand. And so whatever town or city you're in, whether you're visiting or you live there, when you typed in pizza place, pizza near me,
Yep.
they would come up.
Insane.
Instantaneous SEO. Now, I don't know if it's ever happened or not, but I saw this and I was like, this is absolute genius. I feel like you could take every single one of like the traditional 15 or 20 small businesses in every town and put it under the Near Me label, right? So
Definitely.
we're in Seekonk on Route 6. You could do steakhouse near me. You could do tire shop near me. Gas station near me. Flower shop near me. Dentist near me. You could do anything that you need as like a functioning adult in society that we go and buy things. Fruit place near me, grocery store near me, and put it under the Near Me brand. And I feel like they would take over the world.
No, I think you showed me this, and I did a little more research on it. And they like own the copyright or trademark or whatever it is
Yep.
to it, and you can literally just open up every single type of business.
Yep, and put it under the Near Me brand.
Without spending $1 on marketing.
Yep, not a nickel.
Because you just rely on Google.
Because you're
Zero
typing
ad
in the
spend.
name. If you type in the name, if you're in No Name Town, Oklahoma, 500 people, and there's called Susie's Bake Shop, and you type in Susie's Bake Shop, Oklahoma, it's going to pop up automatically because like you're
Yep.
typing in what it is. So you don't need anybody to Google stuff to do its thing to bring you up to the ranking. You're typing in the name. You're typing in flower shop near me, flowers near me, gas near me. You're typing it in the name.
typing in the
It's going to
company
pop
name.
up.
Yeah, it's not going to show you the gas stations around or the flower shops around. Well, it probably still will, but
First we'll say flower shop near me.
First one that's going to come up is flower shop near me. Insane.
Such a cool idea.
It is the most ingenious thing I've ever seen.
Right? So for the SEO, we hired a third-party company that we just honestly found on the internet. I Googled
SEO.
SEO near me. No, they're in Florida. And we've had a lot of meetings, and we have a weekly call with them. And we knew this is something that we could not possibly take in-house. There's so much what we call back-end analytics in the Google world of what somebody types in, when they type it in, you know, I have a broken sewer line, who can fix it near me, right? All these things that me or you are not nearly intelligent enough or smart enough or know anything about this world to do. So we really had to sub this out to a third-party company. And I would say it's not the greatest success in the universe, but it's definitely working.
100%.
It is definitely working. We're getting phone calls that are tracked. We've gotten a couple of pretty good large-scale jobs from it. And so it's a pretty good investment, but it's definitely working. And so I anticipate next year it to be even more fine-tuned, right? That's a stepping stone, baby steps. Google, from the way I've understood it and what has been told to me, is that Google is like building the pyramids. That you're not going to really get high to that peak till a long period of time. You got to really stack these little stones and just slowly build that. Like, you know, after 6 months, you might only be 3 feet off the ground. But then as you get closer and as you get longer, you start making more height as you
It's
go.
like that. It's like a compounding interest.
Yep.
I think the word they use is a web authority.
Yep.
So basically, however much stuff you're pumping out, whether it's ad spend or
Yeah.
creative, any of that stuff, you almost start to build a reputation
Yeah.
on the back end.
Yep.
And the more you do that, I would assume it's more of a snowball effect where like you said, it doesn't take off too much after 6 months, but you look back 4 years from now,
Yeah.
and it's, your SEO is all over the place.
Absolutely. And then the next thing that we do, I always tie sales and marketing together.
I agree.
And many companies, they don't. But it's in essence, our sales force or our referral business are working with other people, direct word of mouth, hand to hand, face to face. That is the old fashioned way to do it, right? If we were in 1987 right now, okay, you wouldn't have a job with us.
Nope. I'd be living on the streets.
There'd be no social media.
Yep.
You would be the yellow pages. We would not have any SEO because the internet wasn't invented. And so the only way to let people know would be the phone book, or like you going out and knocking on doors saying, "Hey, everybody, this is what we do." So that still really works. So that's what Joe's for. That's what we're hiring for another one of those. And the reputation we've built up for our 30 years of our company. The other contractors that we work with, I literally get a minimum of 2 calls a day. It's like, "Oh, this guy told me to call you, worked with you in the past. I think I've got a problem. They told me you think you can help." Right? So that like word of mouth travels because we're so unique and specialized that people come across problems that they don't know how to fix, and they're coming to us like, "Oh, I think I heard somebody told me that you might be able to help fix this problem." So those are kind of like the 3 pillars of our marketing program here at Royal Flush, right? So it's social media, it's SEO, and it's our sales force talking to people and letting them know what we're doing.
And what I think is, you kind of touched on this. You mentioned how your wife is in the business of selling products, and we sell a service. So service-based industries, which makes it unique as far as, especially, I guess, SEO and social media go. You only really need to market to people within a certain radius. So our marketing goal is much different than a company that sells T-shirts or meal prep food. Like you can ship those products to anywhere in the country.
Anywhere in the country.
Market anywhere as long as there's eyeballs on it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So you and I talk about, let's delve more into the social media stuff, that we want as many followers, viewers, we want everybody to see everything. But fundamentally, do we really give a crap if 1 million people in Nebraska are liking, following, and watching us?
Exactly. It doesn't.
I mean, it's nice, but we're probably not going to go to Nebraska and do a liner. Now, maybe hopefully in a couple of years we're ready to take over the country, but that's not going to happen, right? And so it's geo-based.
Definitely.
But then, it's maybe the Nebraska person's got an aunt or uncle or a cousin that lives here, right? So you can always connect. You want both, right? It's not A or B. It's A and B.
A and B,
So shout out to my last episode there.
Yeah.
So you want both. But we're geo-targeting local people to our service area. Again, anybody can buy a T-shirt in any state across the country. Our company can be in little East Providence, Rhode Island, and you can sell T-shirts all over the world. So the marketing strategy for that is going to be very, very different.
Definitely.
Than the service-based end. So, like our, T-shirts, $25, $30.
Yep.
Okay. So I want to sell 1 million of them, and that's $30 million. Great. Well, a pipeliner is $5, $10, $15, $20, $100, $200,000. So I only need to sell one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm selling them in a lot smaller area, right? So it's just different. It's not better or worse. It's just different. So let's delve in to the social media stuff. What is your favorite part, we'll say, of our marketing that you do?
Favorite part of our marketing? I think the biggest thing is, and we've touched on it in the past, that we do something that a lot of people don't know about. So being able to showcase what we do in a way that, someone might be scrolling and not know what we do, and almost get like the shiny object effect, where they could be like, "Oh, that's really cool," and it's really on mostly me to portray that in a way that would be interesting to people, because this is so niche, like no one knows what it is, and it might be, like we said, it might be cool to get 5,000 views on something, cool little serotonin boost, but to be able to gear it towards someone who doesn't know what we do, but also make sure that you're being geographically correct with your targeting. It's a big challenge. I've talked to a lot of people, and I've said hundreds of times at this point, like it's a challenge that I didn't expect to happen, but it's very much like we're the only ones making pipelining content.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is, we are pipelining content.
There's probably a handful of people in America that are making pipelining content, Kyle. Like very, 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 very small amount.
Literally, yeah. And I think, well, there are definitely people, because I do kind of some type of research and kind of see who's making what. So I kind of have an idea of the players in it. But I mean, even as far as making it consistently,
Mm-hmm.
I would say a handful is generous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we were joking one day, and I think we were sitting in the break room, and you said, Kyle, I think you've watched the most.
Yes.
Just from editing, Kyle, I think you've watched the most pipelining content out of anyone in the world.
Yes, without a doubt. I fully believe that this guy right here has watched more videos about pipelining than any human being in the world. I have no doubt about.
And what's crazy is I don't think that's like unreal to say.
Yep.
Like there's like actually some truth to that. So it's kind of cool because I feel like a sense of responsibility. It falls on me to take that footage, take those videos, and like I said, present it in a nice little gift box that kind of someone on the other side of the screen can say, "Oh, that's really cool. I wonder what that is."
Yeah.
And maybe it is someone from Nebraska or, BFE Oklahoma, but it's what we do is, like I said, so uncommon.
Yeah.
That the awareness in and of itself, knowing that what Joe Spardello would say is, I'm the Michael Jordan of pipelining content.
Yep.
It's the awareness is I almost feel a sense of responsibility for pushing it out there, not only for us, just pipelining in general, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. And so within that, I think there's basically like 4 to 5 different types of videos that we create. And I know the ones that I like the most. I'm interested to see what yours are. So we're creating still photos.
Yep.
Very, very easy, right? We're on a little kick. We're doing some cool motivational quotes.
Definitely.
Again, just something that I like quotes. When you read them, it kind of is like, oh, well, that makes sense. So I like those. Simple. What I like to call those the low-hanging fruit, low barrier of entry for time and energy for you. Allows us to quantity-wise fill out our content calendar. Easier to do. We're having short, what I call like really short form videos, 5-10 seconds. We've got medium-term videos, I would consider to be 10 to 30 seconds. And then we've got the long form, which really is this that we're clipping up. For me, I get most excited about, and it's kind of funny that I think the short-term ones, the 5-second ones, and the long form ones, I think are the most stimulating and interesting. And they're on both ends of the spectrum, right? It's like which piece of time can you dedicate to where you're going to get like that serotonin boost of like, oh, that's cool. Look at that piece of equipment. Wow, the light's on, the flash, something's buzzing.
Yeah.
Or this, you're like, hey, I'm driving or I'm relaxing and I want to like consume some long form information on a topic. And that's what this is. I like that we do all of those things together because anybody who knows anything about social media, and believe me, we don't. We are figuring this out, okay? But I know you can't just do one thing. You can't just do pictures. You can't just do really short form content. You can't really just do long form. You can't just be funny. You can't just be, you got to really try and do a bunch of stuff.
Definitely.
Because that's going to appeal to the most amount of people. And ideally, you can be pretty good at a bunch of those and get a whole bunch of people. That's my thought process behind it.
Definitely. And I think one thing I've noticed just from social media in and of itself, those short 10-second videos, as we've said, those are our best performing videos as far as views. Like, not all views are created equal, as we know. But I also feel like something like this, a podcast, longer form, you can go a little more in depth, maybe get a sense of, I don't know if brand loyalty is the word, but a sense of, I like these guys. These guys are cool. They're just cool guys. I want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
I'd like to think people would want to hang out with me.
I want to hang out with you.
But yeah, I think those are it's the balance of let's catch their attention for 10 seconds. Maybe we hook them.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they're hooked, you can kind of see, we probably have 20 hours worth of just podcasts now out there.
Yeah, and thousands upon thousands of photos, videos, medium form, long form, short form.
Yep.
On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, right? You can find us. If you have an interest in us, or if we caught your eye anyway, you should be able to find us pretty easily because I'm not going to compare us to anybody else, but I know for what we do, we are pumping out the content.
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's especially in, like we said, in the pipelining world. And we had a conversation, and I think this kind of can relate to the content as well. We sat down one time, I think it was me, you, and Joe, and you said, there are very few people in a 50-mile radius who do what we do, which in a service-based industry is so good. That's huge. Very little competition. And you mentioned that if anyone wanted to just pick it up and start tomorrow, the amount of time it would take to catch up to where we're at by that time would be double what we are now.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of what we're getting at with the content now is kind of finding out what works, what are the elements of pipelining that people like seeing, like watching, like hearing about, and kind of starting to put those pieces together. And we almost have some sort of a formula as far as when we're posting.
Our own made up formula.
We're just kind of it's like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're acting like we know what we're doing. But yeah, I think especially even with the content, like just figuring out what people like to see, what catches their attention. And I feel like even that, if someone wanted to start making pipelining content today and kind of get where we are and kind of crack certain codes, and I think it would take a while.
Yeah, it would take years to catch up to what we had.
Plus, no one's watching more pipelining content than me.
Nope. No. So my piece of advice, I don't know if everybody takes my advice or even likes it, but for us in marketing, what we try to do is just let people know about who we are and what we can do. That's the marketing definition. And it's anything you can do in your flower shop to let more people know that you're there. Like really, if we're really just dumbing it down, that's all marketing is.
Yep.
That is, to me, that's all marketing is. And so create a video, have a sales team, if you're in that, pass the flyers out to your people, get a flower salesperson, get all those things, and you will grow your business. Definitely. Our business is growing for a lot of different factors. I like to think you and I are a big part of that. But it's because we have all those things in place. It's not just one. We've got social media manager, which is you. We've got a sales guy in the field. We've got some good brand awareness locally for our 30-year history. We've got other contractors out there that we've worked with who are referring us and having people call us all the time. And we're wanting to double and triple and quadruple down on all of those. I want you to put out even more content. I want Joe to continue to meet hundreds of more people, and I want to hire more people like Joe. I want more contractors, and the more work we do with people, the more they're going to refer us to what we're doing. The more guys we have in the field, the more jobs we're able to do, the more they're going to have us do more jobs. So it's just tripling down on everything, and that's how we're going to grow.
Yeah, and it's like you said, if there's ever competition, we're miles and miles ahead at that point because we're
competition is
reps
good.
in.
I like competition. It's good. It makes you better. If a guy right next door opened up, we're going to sit down and have a meeting about, okay, well, how do we sharpen our pencil? How do we make sure we're better? It's going to make you better. There's no doubt about it. You think Michael Jordan was like, oh, I don't know. I wish Karl Malone got hurt in the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
No, he was like, F that. I'm going to beat that guy. He won the MVP this year? No way, man. I'm the best pipeliner in this business. I'm the best basketball player of all time. Competition brings out the best in you.
What's the phrase, iron sharpens iron? Or am I making that up? There's some type of phrase.
There's something like that. We'll go with that. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, we'll rock with that.
Sure, why not?
I like that. But yeah, so the SEO. I mean, obviously, you kind of talked about the goal behind it, and I feel like we're learning stuff every day. Like it's not very like I'm in these meetings learning new things every day. They'll break down the analytics reports that we see, and it is so much information to take in. Like I know we talked about even when I came on the idea of me doing some SEO work, and it is so much that to be able to fit that and then manage your social media at the same time would be
It's a lot of work.
insane. Like that is a lot of information to take in. I'm not sure if you've learned anything since we started with this company, but it's a ton.
I think the biggest thing I learned was actually during the, we'll say, build out of the website. So we had a website made by just a local guy, and I thought it was the greatest website in the world because I sank 3 months of my life into it, and that I'll never get back. But what I realized is that website was for us at Royal Flush. That website was not for somebody scouring the internet who had a problem looking for a solution. That was the difference. And it took a little while for me to realize that. So our website was like just flat information, what we did, who we were, cool videos. Like, I thought it was a great website. And it is just, what we have now is just really like the 3.0 to our 1.0.
Yeah.
Right? But, and the website we have now, I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. But let me tell you why. Their website's not for me. The website is not for me. Okay? I would like, because I know everything about it, I like a nice, simple, clean, I just want who they are, whatever. But the website's not for us. The website is for somebody searching, my underground sewer pipe's broken, how do I fix it? And then what we created is like 500 webs within there on all these pages to get you to click on something to hope to get you to bring to one portion of our page. That is it. And then from there, request something, email me something like, can you reach out to me? So the website's not for me.
Yep.
It's not for people who know about pipelining. If you know what pipelining is and you know who Royal Flush is, you're just going to Google Royal Flush and get the phone number.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to go to that website to really gather information. Now, there's information to gather on there, but when I finally realized, it's not for us. And because 99% of people don't know anything about what we do, why am I making a website for the 1%?
Yeah.
Let's make it for the 99%. There's all kinds of stuff in there that's taking all these different things and where we are and who areas we cover and all this stuff. And I was just like, whoa, it's not. The website, honestly, isn't even the most visually appealing thing to me. But it's not for us.
Yeah.
It's not for me. That was the biggest thing. The second I realized that, I was like, okay, let them create a website for the 99% people.
100%. And we've had this conversation with them and said, hey, no one knows what we do. Like you said, the 99%. They do not know what we do.
Yep.
And if they know who we are, they already know what we do.
Yeah.
So and like you mentioned, it's not very, the layout, it might not be for you, but we've talked about just keeping a blind faith that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is what they do for a living.
And it's even different than another service, like a roofer. I know I'm looking for roofers near me.
Yep.
And what do you think you want on a roofer's website? Probably maybe some of their experience, some of their jobs, commercial, industrial, maybe some suppliers or products they use, maybe something about their owner and the areas they service and their phone number, right? That just like basic information. That was the first website we did.
Yeah.
But somebody's calling a roofer because they know that they need their roof replaced. People don't know they need their underground sewer line replaced, and they don't know that pipelining is the way to replace it. So that website is not appropriate for what we're doing. People aren't going to type in pipelining near me. They don't know what the hell pipelining is.
Have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
No.
So it's something, and I'm paraphrasing like crazy right now, but the Dunning-Kruger effect is basically a quadrant, and it's things you know that you know, so you're conscious that you know these. Things that you don't know that you know, like breathing. It's just something you do unconsciously, just so naturally.
Yep.
And there's things you don't know. You're aware that you don't know these things. And then the other quadrant is things that you're unaware that you don't know. You don't know what there is to learn.
Okay.
You think you have
You
it
don't
all.
know what you don't know.
Exactly. So I think, and the people that we're trying to target are the people in that last quadrant of, I don't know what I don't know.
Yep.
I have no idea that this is even an issue, and I don't know the actionable steps to take in that situation. So it's very much don't know what you don't know. So instead of, targeting in SEO, pipelining near me, that's not what we're going for. Because if it were pipelining near me, there aren't many.
They're going to find us.
Pipelining companies
Yep, they're
near
going to
us.
find us.
So the issue is finding the questions or search terms that they would, put into their search bar if they were in a situation that required us.
Yep.
Which is such just like a reverse engineer, almost like a puzzle. And it's a cool, like I said, it's a cool challenge.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting.
It is very interesting, very confusing.
Oh, certainly. Certainly confusing.
Anything else you want to cover as part of our marketing, Kyle?
Not that I can think of, just trying new things every day, seeing what works, and ultimately trying to get better.
I agree. So check out more. If you're listening to this, continue to look for our content.
Definitely.
Check out social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and more importantly, this amazing podcast.
Fantastic podcast. Fantastic.
Follow us and like us. We'll catch you next time. More great content like this coming your way. Thanks.